some great reasons why it is important to diversify income. But time is limited, Adam. We all have 24 hours, and if your 9 to 5 is taking majority of your time, how do you start a side hustle? How do you maximize the time you have, the limited time, to build a side hustle, which hopefully can turn into a business without you being bent out? Welcome back to B3 Inspire. Today, we are talking everything about entrepreneurship and passive income, creating multiple streams. We often hear the advice, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Build a multiple streams of income. Well, today we are unpacking what this really means. And to join me talk about this, of course, we have got Edem here. And set the stage for us. Why do we think someone needs to consider having multiple streams of income rather than relying on their main jobs or their 9 to 5 jobs?
So this is so important in the sense that think about passive income this way. Having a more multiple streams of income is almost like having a career insurance. Yeah.
Career insurance, I like that.
Career insurance, literally. Remember, we talked about the whole piece about diversification when we talked about investing. And when it comes to income, this is also a form of diversifying your income. And when it comes to diversifying your income, let me just jump right into it. There are about 3 ways that you can diversify your income. Just about 3 ways you can diversify your portfolio. So you can diversify it across different geographies. You can diversify across different sectors, and you can also diversify across different streams or platforms. Now, I'm going to talk more about it a bit later on, but just that I've put out there. And talking about multiple streams of income is so critically important, because if you don't have it, it's almost like you are one step away from having a zero income, because
It's a high risk.
It's a high risk. What if you're 9 to 5 something happens and it falters? What are you going to rely on? So really, having that multiple streams of income is a backup, that insurance.
That's right.
For the what if, so make sure that you always have something going and something coming through, irrespective of what would happen. And it's also another way of accelerating your financial goals. Let's say, for example, you have that goal whereby you have to pay off a debt, an important debt going, right? And at the same time as well, you also want to maybe build a portfolio of properties or portfolio of investment. Having that multiple stream of income ensures that maybe whilst your 9 to 5 will be basically paying off the debt, the multiple stream of income or passive income would then be doing
the investing.
Exactly. So that is so much important. And so it's also about eventually almost like buying your freedom.
That's right.
And what that means is
Early retirement.
Yeah, who doesn't want to? Yeah. And it will come to the point whereby I realize, okay, I don't want to really work the 9 to 5 anymore.
That's right.
If I don't want to work the 9 to 5 anymore, then I have to build my passive income to a point whereby I can wholeheartedly and basically hang the hat and say, okay, bye bye to 9 to 5. And then
for your freedom.
For your freedom, do what you've always wanted to do, but I've not had the opportunity to do it because you have not had the means to. So that is very important. And also it's about pursuing a passion. So pursuing a passion is something that you are it's almost like that somebody said it this way. It's like the silent voice in your head that will not keep quiet until you fulfill it. And that is your passion. It will always come up. Some people call it passion, some people call it purpose, whatever you want to call it. It will not keep quiet until you pursue it and you are fully committed to it. And eventually you can basically monetize that. Turn into something great, something that you really want to focus on maybe for the rest of your life, and build it so well that it becomes a business for you.
That's right.
So there are all these strands that you've got to look at when it comes to passive income to ensure that you are actually fulfilling your dreams, really.
Amazing.
Sort of last element I want to add to this piece is about how the world have shifted quite a bit now. I mean, pretty much since COVID, really. I mean, COVID exposed so many things, both the bad and then the good. And one of the things that came out of the COVID was the fact that we don't really have to rely on just one income.
That's right.
So many people lost their jobs, lost their means of income because working 9 to 5 when COVID struck.
Yes.
And they had to find means of surviving, means of making a living. And some people turn to sort of online. I'm going to talk a bit more about online, the different platforms as well, as a way of generating extra income or generating income, not even extra, generating income to be able to live. And so because of that, the world has shifted from just doing things the traditional way to now going automation, where the internet of all things have become ways whereby people can actually leverage on to make a lot of income. And even now, as we're speaking at the moment, it's even going another level whereby AI is taking on the platform at the moment to announce itself that I'm here to stay. You either get on with it or get lost in a way. So the economy has shifted. As the economy has shifted, it means that there are opportunities out there to be able to have passive income, add multiple streams of income, and it's for advantage. If it's there, let's use it to really to make the most out of it as much as we can.
That is really insightful. Of course, leveraging on AI using the internet has meant that people can actually turn their hobbies really into a side hustle.
Absolutely.
And like you said, eventually build it into becoming a business.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I love what you said about option, why people should have the streams. One of them is for them to retire early. Is that fire?
That is fire.
Financial independence, retire early.
That's right.
Keep that fire. Right. Edem, passive income. Making money with minimal ongoing effort, isn't it? Sometimes it sounds dreamy. There are some that even claim that they make money while sipping cocktails on a beach.
Yeah.
Right? What is real and what's a hype?
Right. Okay. So let me start with the story, and then we'll go into the real and the hypes, which is quite important. This is another good question, really, to you, Hannah. So a story is told of two individuals. So let's say Stephen and Jason, right?
Okay.
So these individuals were told to fill a big tank with water from the stream. Okay. So that was a task. They were not given it sort of time to do it, but and the one who could do it the most effective, efficient as possible, will be the one who win. So Stephen and Jason, so they all started basically bucket of water.
That's right.
From the stream.
Get that water, fill it.
Bucket of water. They all enthusiastic. Yay, enthusiastic. And same way, everybody, the same way. Bucket of water, pour into the tank. Bucket of water, pour in the tank. So day one was over. Day two, bucket of water, pour into it. Bucket of water, pour into it. And then so day three came, bucket of water from the stream into the tank. Bucket of water. They were getting tired. Does that sound familiar? Getting tired. 9 to 5. Getting tired. Go to work. Come back home. Eat some food. Watch television. Go to bed. Start again. Getting tired. So on the third night, right? Stephen said that, you know what? There must be a way. There must be a way to do this quickly because I'm getting tired.
That's right.
Yeah. But Jason said that, you know what? That's what we've been given. I mean, there's no way I could.
Doesn't like change.
Yeah, there's no way I could bucket of water. That's what I could do. But I mean, to be honest, both of them were tired. Stephen said, no, there's no way I can continue like this. as the physically it's draining. I'm tired. This tank is gonna take me ages to do it. So Stephen begin to think. He began to put his creativity into play.
That's right.
And he began to find a way to basically transport the water from the stream into the tank. So what
Without
he did
physical strength.
physical strength. So what he did was that he built a pipe.
That's right.
From the stream into the tank, and then just basically let it flow. And he didn't. Well, he started to do it. Didn't share so much of his thoughts with anybody. Just started to do it the way, connected it from somewhere back into the stream, and then it was filling. So Jason wasn't seeing Steven around a bit at all. He wasn't seeing him around at all, and so he was wondering. But then
what's happening?
The tank. He saw that Steven's tank was still filling up. He's like, what's going on? So he connected it at the bottom, so it was filling up at the top. As it was almost unnoticed. So he said, okay, so everybody got to be aware of what was going on, and they were like, whoa, what is happening? This is an innovation. We never thought it's possible. We thought the only way is bucket from the stream to the tank.
Thinking outside the box.
So he had a different way to bring or to generate revenue or to generate the water into the tank without physically getting involved. So even whilst he was sleeping, the tank was still filling up. So principally, from that is the basic definition of passive income. Right? Passive income is passive. It's making money whilst you are sleeping. Whatever you have set up should be making money for you whilst you are sleeping. That is the fundamental of passive income. If it's not doing that, that is not passive income. And please, one of the biggest myths, and talking about myth and reality, biggest myth is that multiple employment or multiple jobs equals to passive income.
So you've got to be present, isn't it?
Because you got to be present.
That's right, yeah.
Multiple jobs equals to multiple struggles. It's not necessarily passive income because it's equals to multiple struggles because it's not necessarily passive income. It's not necessarily a side hustle because you've got to be there for it to happen. If you're not there, it's not happening. Whilst you're sleeping, you cannot make that money. So that effectively it's not passive income. So let us get that myth out of the way. The fact that I'm working 5-6 jobs means that I'm making passive income, means that I'm making just a side hustle, not necessarily.
It's not a minimal ongoing efforts, is it?
Exactly. And that's the fundamental of it. So let's get out of the way. So now one of the myths that's another myth that people think about. So that's just all about the mindset. And the second myth as well that comes with passive income or multiple streams of income is the fact that, okay, I'm just going to set it up and just leave it and then forget about it. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It doesn't work that way. That is a myth. The reality is that once you set it up, you have got to maintain it. You've got to have an oversight on it until it is self-generating in such a way that you have to check it, but not as often as you did at the time right from the beginning, or from the onset. Okay, so please setting it up and leaving it and just thinking that it will do what it's meant to do. It does not work. So please, that is complete myth on its own. And the other myth as well is that the thing that anyone can basically get involved in passive income or in the side hustle. Not necessarily, because most people think that it's not their forte. So it's not everyone that can do it. It's not everyone that can really get involved in it. You've got to know your strength.
Yes.
You got to know your strength and leverage on your strength. I mean, that is the bottom line of it. If you don't know your strength, you cannot do or have any sort of passive income going at all or set up anything at all to make the most of it in a shape or form. And so you have got to realize that in order for make it work, you have got to look really deep on the inside of it. So you're talking about purpose, talking about your passion, and then thinking about a different way so that it's generating something for you or turn it and monetize it. That is where it all comes from. Okay, very important, right? And then the other myth as well is that, oh, it's a case of passive income, or making passive income is a case of if you got to, when you do it now, automatically within the next 24 hours you're going to start earning. You doing 24 hours, I'm going to get money. Within 24 hours, I'm going to become a millionaire.
Feels too good to be true.
If it feels too good to be true,
It is probably not. Yeah.
yeah. So it takes time for you to build it up, and you've got to have the P in you. You got to have the patience in you, and then work it. And then, as Betty said from the beginning, consistency is key to all of this. And I've mentioned already, you're probably going to hear being consistent with it, being patient with it, building
drips. Towards it.
Yeah, towards it, and then working it. Or have the medium to long term view in mind when you are engaging in any sort of venture when it comes to passive income.
That is excellent. And you've highlighted something really important here, which is either capital or time or skill. That's right. You've got to be, when you said it's not for everyone, what I was thinking it's a case of you finding, have you got either the capital or have you got the time or have you got the skill? Absolutely. And if you have got any of those, then you can turn it into those side hustle. Absolutely. But it's finding those nuggets first.
Absolutely.
And then working consistently to monetize it.
Absolutely. And then, to add to what you said, when you have the time, the capital, and the other thing, we probably may come to a bit that later on as well. When it comes to side hustle or anything, making a passive income, it takes money to make money. It takes time.
You've got to invest
it takes time to also to make something out of it. And we come to that quite quickly as well.
And you know what you're talking about, it takes money. For instance, you talked about leveraging AI. And maybe there's somebody out there listening thinking, I have no idea where I'm going to start. And this is where you spoke about like money. You could take a training, pay for a training to be able to develop that skill. And then you can turn it into money.
Absolutely. There got to be some form of input for you to have that output.
Yeah.
And sometimes, although the output will be great, there's got to be some form of input in order for you to have some form of output.
Yeah. Thank you for breaking it right down. Edem, can you share some examples of popular and accessible side hustles that people who might want to take on this advice could do, that could possibly grow into a full-blown business for them?
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned side hustles, right? Yeah. But I want to sort of broaden out with sometimes side hustles, passive income, they tend to sort of interlink, but sort of kind of the same thing. So I'm going to sort of broaden it out to side hustles and passive income at the same time, because when you think about it, passive income is part of side hustles and all of it. So the norm or the cliche is that you wake up in the morning, go to work, come back home, eat some food, watch some television, go to bed, and then wake up the following day.
Cycle.
wake up in the morning, go to work, come back home, eat some food, watch some television, go to bed. It's almost like what they call it, being on the hamster wheel. You know, you keep going, no, and it doesn't stop. At some point, it has to stop.
That's
because
right.
Your life is not all about that. Okay, your life is more than that. Absolutely important. Your life is more than that. And talking about some of the things that could help really to generate passive income.
Yeah.
I want to sort of break it into sort of the 7 R's. Right?
7 hours.
7 hours.
Okay.
And then I'll be giving examples every now and then.
Okay.
And really, I learned this from my mentor, really.
Wow. Share that nugget.
I learned this from him. He actually talked about the 9 hours, but I'm sort of consolidating
it. You could say into 7 hours. So. Okay, we intrigued. What are the 7 hours? So I think we are ready to take this.
Absolutely. So now, when we think about, and the reason why I mentioned passive income, right, is this. sometimes we jump straight into, for example, the rentals, and we jump into all of the royalties, and we jump into all of the rates and everything. But when you think about it, right, you work for the whole sort of passive income. Start from where you are. Start from where you work, and this is what I mean, right?
So the 9 to 5.
The 9 to 5.
The 9 to 5.
Start from 9 to 5, right? So you work 9 to 5. They pay your salary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They pay your salary, and sometimes they might offer you a
Bonus.
particular. Let's say, like, they offer you a salary, an annual salary, right?
Okay.
That annual salary is what normally comes with whatever they offered you at your interview stage. Right?
Yes.
But then don't let it stop there. Negotiate.
I love that.
Negotiate your salary, and that's what I call the rates, or the R. Negotiate. That's the first R.
So that's your rate.
Yes.
Negotiate your salary.
Negotiate your salary.
Gosh, this is exciting.
Negotiate your rate. Don't let it stop there.
Yeah.
And then when it went from there, and some people think, oh, it's up just about my rate. No, it doesn't stop there. Let it go into your remuneration package. That's the next R. Because within your remuneration package, it's not just about your rates. It's not just about your salary. It's really about everything else. The package really is. It could be anything about, for example, the matching contribution that they will make onto your salary sacrifice, towards your pension, or even your earn to save. For example, as you earn, they will then basically give you a discount on the company's stock or share.
Shares, okay.
Yeah. Or sometimes they call it the share safe. Sometimes people call it the share purchase, right? All of these is part of the remuneration package.
So look into it.
Find
out what is there.
Find out what is there. If you have offers on the table, you'll be headhunted.
Yes.
Please don't just rush into it. Make sure that you review it, and then the ones that will bring you the more. And in some of these packages comes the company car. Some of it, depending on your level, may come even with the company sort of a company house, or some place that you can live. They can live up on the expense of the company. So this is all part of the remuneration package, and some of it even comes with the fact that you can even book holidays for you.
Show me that one.
Book holidays for you at a significant, phenomenal discount.
Yes.
Right? It's all part of the passive income, or the passive income package, and which goes a long way to reduce and help you to reduce your expenditure and help you to save towards the long term. Right. So that is the remuneration package, right?
Okay, so we've got rates.
We've got the rates. We've got the
just negotiate your salary.
Yeah, and we've got
remuneration
package. And then the third one, what I call replication.
Replication.
The third are replication. Okay, let's break it down. You cannot become a millionaire, and that's what my mentor says, and it's so true. And if you can use X example, you cannot become a millionaire by just having one salon if you're a hairdresser.
That's right.
Right. If you have one salon, if you're a hairdresser, you cannot become, because even if you try to employ 10 or 15 employees within that same complex, it'd be challenging to become a millionaire through that. So what you got to do
scale up.
Exactly. Replicate it. So if you have Johnson and Johnson hairdo or Johnson and Johnson salon, have Johnson and Johnson salon in Peckham, Camberwell, have it in Accra,
in Lagos,
have in Dubai, Texas, replicate it across the world. Go global with it. Start localize it. Then basically go global with it. That is the way to replicate it, to make sure that something is coming in. So that's the third arm. Then we go into rentals. Rent is basically renting a spare property, so not spare, buy to the property that you have,
or maybe a spare room.
It would be a spare room. Tell you a story. One of my clients, right? She said, "Okay, Edem, I'm not ready for the whole Airbnb thing. I've got this great property, and the property is a house, basically a residential house. It's great, got lots of space there. The children moved there and everything, space. But still, I'm not ready to really sacrifice my own space. So what I'll do, I've got this amazing garage, and in fact, some really good spacious garage on there. She did it all up,
That's
And
right.
basically, she did it all up and to rent it out as a storage space.
Yes.
And when you go in there, the standard there, the quality of the security, the quality of of the walls and the spacing that she's demarcated in such a way that you can have the whole bit or have half of it. And they're basically renting it out. Say, I'm going to do as a story, and it's doing phenomenally well.
That's a dead space that's just been converted and is generating an income.
And she's got a front yard parking as well. She front parked and the garage used as a storage space where she rents it out, and it's making her some really good income to supplement her retirement. And then until she said, I'm ready to basically do an Airbnb and sacrifice. But so it goes to show. So you can just rent that out. If you go an event space, you can rent it out. Amazing, you could do that. And various spaces you can rent. Anything that rentable.
Rent it.
And rent it out.
That's
and
right.
then make some income out of it, right? Okay, so that's and the Airbnb, we can talk about it, all of it that comes with it. And then so we go to the fifth R.
Yes.
Which is really about I call it the revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
I call it the revolution. So the revolution is really about where we are at the moment. Where we are with the internet and how internet AI, we're talking about AI, and we're talking about, and even before that, let's talk about disruption. What is it that you have that you can utilize to disrupt the market?
That's right.
If you're a lawyer, don't just be a lawyer, be a business lawyer.
If
you're a teacher, don't be a teacher, be a business teacher. If you're a lecturer, don't be a lecturer, be a business lecturer. If you're into banking, don't just be a banker, be a business banker.
Monetize your skills.
Be creative about how you can use your career or your skills, your ability to be turned into a business. And what that basically means is that, fair enough, what is it that I can come up with? I can bring into the market that would disrupt the market that I'm in, to ensure that I'm bringing something out there that is not the norm. So that's where the Ubers and the Just Eat and the Facebook, they are disruptors out there. Netflix, disruptors out there. They basically took Blockbuster out of the street, just like that. They disrupted CDs out of nowhere, exactly. And then now we've got the Spotify and everything disrupting it, and now YouTube music and everything disrupt the market. Be a disruptor, and that's what I talk about the revolution. And revolution is really the fundamental of it is about leveraging on the internet. Again, I mean, the internet is so key. Leveraging on it so much, and in such a way that, again, you can apart from YouTube, I mean, there's YouTube out there, there's TikTok out there, there's the IG, Instagram out there. Even there are platforms whereby you can even leverage this moment to be able to put your materials out there, whereby you can monetize it. So if you are great at the particular topic or subject, and there's even one out there, I mean, talking about schools now, and extra classes. Yes. There are platforms out there whereby they don't do it face to face. They are basically taking all the face to face material and put it onto a platform whereby students can log in. They can log in at any time
and access the learning.
Exactly. If you're a counselor, put it on Udemy. Amazing platform. Freelancing, talking about the freelancer is out there, Fiverr is out there, and all these platforms, coaching, you can leverage on it. And so that's so much important. So all of these will form part of the examples of what things that you can leverage. I'm talking about the gig they call it the gig economy at the moment, and whereby again, if you can have skills like graphic designing, so bringing your creativity alive. It's all part of the revolution. Again, the gig economy, the core of it is, I've mentioned it separately, but again, the core of it is about the Just Eat, the Deliveroo, we talk about Uber. All of these are the gig economy people are using. I mean, after they've done the 9 to 5, they'll pick up the car and do maybe 4 hours. Some people have contracts at the moment whereby it's 4 on, 4 off. So they do they work 7 days a week they work 7 on, 7 off. So they work 7 days a week, and the next 7 days they are off. And so the next 7 days they use to do
build their businesses.
Gig economy, economy. Some people even do 4 on, 4 off. So they work 4 12 hours shift, and then the next 4 days they are off. And then they negotiating their contract.
That's right.
So I've talked a bit about the revolution because it's quite a revolution. Then
That's
the next
sixth.
so so that's the fifth one.
Fifth one. So the
sixth one is what I call reach. Yeah,
okay.
reaching out. What I mean is that nowadays, right? And it's quite big in America, but also in America and across the world, whereby people will publicly speak and they'll pay them $5,000 to $7,000, even more, depending on your credibility and where you are per speaking engagement.
That's right.
And some of them even don't need to stand on a platform to speak. Some of them just going online, send up their
recording,
and ready, and they basically just go for it. Pretty much, reaching out with what your area of expertise.
That's right.
Or what you have come to learn. Just going out there and then basically reaching out to the people, either physically or remotely, virtually, reaching out to people and then charging for it.
That's right.
And some people now, even on YouTube, you can have members only section, whereby again
you give value to subscribed members.
Exactly. Yeah. And then for these subscribers, they will have special one-to-one or special reaching out session with you, public speak as well about the area of your expertise, which is amazing. Yeah. I mean, talking about counseling is huge on that aspect. One-to-one coaching, huge. Mentoring, huge. Another one.
And I think from what you're saying, everything with the reach has got to do with your voice.
Absolutely.
It's having that, skills within you, but using your voice to reach out. And we all have a voice.
Absolutely, we do all
all have a voice.
We do.
And it's about maximizing it and monetizing it.
Yes.
Amazing. Reach.
And then the seventh and the final one I'm talking about, probably will lump it all into. I'm talking about royalties and then rights.
Royalties and rights.
Yeah, royalties and rights. So basically, somebody paying you for, or somebody paying you for using something that is you have the ownership over, and as you have ownership over, which may not necessarily be something that is physical. And we're talking about if you have come up with a music or a sound for somebody to utilize. I mean, quite a good example is radio stations, right?
Yeah.
Before they will basically leverage or utilize anybody's sound or play anybody's music, they've got to have some sort of. They're going to pay some sort of right to the person, and this rights across the world. I mean, talk about some of these music that sound out there. It doesn't only play in the UK or United States of America. It plays global across the world. And anytime that they subscribe to, they have to play your music, play your sound. They have to pay you. So what it is that you can come up with, that you can have the royalty to it, without they have to pay you the rights in order for them to utilize. And that is all of this in one, that you go a long way to bring some sort of passive income.
Fantastic.
And also help you to form as part of a side hustle, aside the 97.
I love the way you've simplified the whole thing into the 7 hours. So and some great reasons why it is important to diversify income. But time is limited, Edem. We all have 24 hours. And if your 9 to 5 is taking majority of your time, how do you start a side hustle? How do you maximize the time you have, the limited time, to build a side hustle, which hopefully can turn into a business without you being bent out?
Yes, so that's a great question. And in fact, there is let's take it from the fact that having a passive income or generating a passive income is not going to start overnight from your 9 to 5. It's going to start from somewhere, you working your 9 to 5. So there is something that I have always come to learn, and I thought it's become quite really important, significant for how I sort of manage my finances and also my other sort of passive income, and it's utilizing the golden hour. Okay, the golden hour is pretty much So
what is the golden hour?
Because a great man, Miles Morrow, right? And if you haven't heard of him, his teachings are online.
Amazing,
great teaching, Miles Morrow. He's got, I mean, one of the favorite sort of authors and sort of people like I've listened to. I still every now and then listen
so
to
rest in peace.
Listen to him. Yeah, he's late, but his teachings and materials are not late.
That's
They
right.
are relevant,
Still relevant.
and they're still live as it was then now. So listen to one of his teachings. He said that okay, everybody work 9 to 5, which is a given. So then, how can anybody become a millionaire or even earn anything outside of 9 to 5? And then he mentioned that the most important hour of your life in terms of making any sort of income is after 5 p.m. Now, and when he said 5 p.m., it says that he didn't really sort of qualify sort of as to how long. But then I came to realize, okay, and I said to myself, okay, then I should really, for me, it will be the hours between 5 and 9 o'clock. So between 5 and 9 o'clock. And I call it the golden hour because between 9 and 5, that time you are pretty much selling the hour or that time to somebody, and they are basically paying you off what they think you are valued, not off what you are really valued. Okay.
That's right.
So this is the point where now you know your worth, you know what you are valued. So now put your worth to action. Bring the value out of your worth, and the only time you can bring that out because you've been selling your hours or you're selling your value between 9 and 5, and what you have, it will be after 5 o'clock. Now, some people say that after 5 o'clock, that evening time, they want to rest. They are burnt out. They can't do anything else. That's fine. It's not you. Some people are like all round clock. Some people are say the power hour or the golden hour is anytime before 5 a.m. Whatever works for you. Find at least 3 hours to 4 hours after 5 p.m. and then make it your own. That is the time whereby you work for yourself. You bring your real value out of your worth. So that's where you engage in what you are passionate about. That's where you engage in whatever you want to turn into business. Bring that bit out and start small. Okay, start small. You don't. I mean, you can't. It can't be like Facebook or it can't be Netflix overnight. Start small. Yeah, that sort of scale. So start small from where you are, and then really manage your time really well. Time management is key. It's critically important. So your time management, and you can really, as an entrepreneur or somebody who's trying to have a side hustle or generate passive income, you can really be sucked into all the entrepreneurship in such a way that it could take so much of your time.
Yeah.
And so what you can do is really be intentional about how much time I am going to carve out for that passive income venture. It could be that, okay, I'm going to just work on it 2 hours a day. I'm going to work on it 3 hours a day. I'm going to work on it 4 hours a day, and really stick to it. Be consistent with that sort of time management that you do, and just all the way through. That is, and then so the reason why you know yourself more than anybody knows yourself, right? So if you know yourself, you know that okay, you can only do 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, that's what it is. So if gonna be that 3-4 hours, do it, and then make sure you make time to rest. Also crucial, make time to rest when you have made time for everything else. And also when it comes to this as well, as much as you be writing and maybe utilizing maybe your note and your pen, your computer, leverage on the internet. Leverage on the internet, because the internet can be your friend or can be a foe. It depends on how you want to utilize it. So leverage on the internet. Nowadays, I think almost anything is on the internet.
Anything is on that. You can actually get a personal assistant. AI can become your personal assistant. Let them do the admin work.
Let them do the admin work. I don't think there is anything at the moment that does not touch the internet, or the internet doesn't touch. It goes so if you are not really anywhere connected to the internet, or you don't know anything about the internet, it's not late. You can still learn how the internet works and really learn to utilize it. There are side hustles out there, people who do not know anything about computers or even not taking any shape or form, but still leverage on the internet to make some really decent money out of it. So nobody can be exempted out of it. And in fact, there is no really an excuse, really. There are literacy out there, the educations out there, or materials out there that can help you to be able to go that far and build upon it as much as you can. And when it start working, just recognize your effort. And it doesn't matter if you're going to pay yourself £50,
Reward
£100.
yourself.
Reward
It's
yourself,
that incentives.
incentivize yourself because you've put the work in, you've worked hard. So yeah, incentivize yourself and then make it work. So these are the things that you can sort of really, really sort of looking to do in order to ensure that
You maximize
that time, you're not burnt out, and you're making the most of the 24 hours that is available to each and every single one of us.
Excellent. I love that golden hour. So we all have the same 24 hours, and if others are able to do it, it goes to show that we all can do it.
Absolutely.
Start small and be effective on your time management.
Crucial.
And reward yourself.
Yeah, you have to.
When you make those gains.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Right, Edem, entrepreneurship can be rewarding, but also demanding. As you clearly said, you can't just have a passive income by starting a side hustle and just ignore it. You've got to put the work into it. True. How do people juggle, say, their day job, a side business, without them burning out?
Good question. Yeah, so chief of it, I mean, to be burned out or to find yourself in that place, it means that perhaps you're not managing your time properly. Means that you are either spending too much time elsewhere you're not meant to, or perhaps you are not setting boundaries. So the first of it is make sure you have an excellent time management principle in place. And you're setting the right boundaries is very important. Just make sure that you have tools that are working for you. So when I say tools, you can use Google Calendar if you want. You can use Calendly if you want, as a tool that you can use just to block out the times that you would need for example, if you're working the 9 to 5 and then trying to set this up as well. So or if you even own your business, just utilizing these tools ensures that you are not overdoing it. You are making the right time. Well, some people go old school. They basically set up a spreadsheet and then religiously just follow it according to the time of what they meant to do, what they were meant to do. So the whole world was not created in a day. So why should you also find yourself working 48 hours or even more non-stop? So you've got to find a time to rest so you don't actually feel the burnout. I mean, it can be all fun and good whilst you are into working it from the time you get home maybe for 6:30, whatever, and you have some food and you're working up until it's about 2:30 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. and you feel the real burnout and you think, I've got to wake up, I'm going to maybe have some sleep and wake up the following morning and go to work again. And it's like you become unproductive.
And then, you know what, I always see this as, doing this myself, I always see it as it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So it's not a case of I've got to put all the work into it right now. No,
absolutely.
It is a marathon. Take your time.
Build
that block. Because if not, if you take as a sprint, then what's going to happen? You're going to be demotivated. Absolutely. You're not going to have the energy to do it. This is where most people then abandon it. And they're not able to see through and see the benefits of it.
That's so true. And so next to that as well is that as you build it and you grow it, and especially if you have an effective time management system in place, it's going to grow.
It is going to grow.
If you manage well, it's going to grow. So when you go to, so the next step is when it's growing, you've got to delegate.
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing absolutely is one of the greatest tools of any sort of successful leader or successful CEO or business owner ever.
You can't do it all.
You can't do it all. I mean, that's what I was just thinking to myself. There is reason why nobody's an island. I mean, the world, you need people, you need resources. The reason why they are all around us, so that because you can't do it on your own. It does not matter who you are. Even Superman needed someone.
That's it.
So you need people. So delegate as much as possible, and delegate more of your time towards sort of strategy development and coming up with strategies, and more of the leadership side of things, and then everything else just let others who can do
especially
it.
the admin side.
Exactly.
And now, I mean, probably somebody's listening going, well, the business or the side hustle is not generating an income yet, and I can afford to pay someone to delegate. There are so many AI tools out there
Absolutely.
that you can possibly use for a
Absolutely.
fraction of the cost,
Absolutely.
without you paying a fortune towards it.
And even if you have to, right? If they are now virtual assistants
That's
who
right.
do not live in the same locality as you are, they're somewhere else in the world, through Fiverr, through Freelancer, all of
Yeah.
these platforms that really affordable, because depends on where you are. Maybe
Yeah.
talking about US, maybe UK or Canada or elsewhere. The conversion rate into their currency, what a £5 or $10 would do for them to give you that service is huge. So that $5 $10 conversion into their currency is massive, and they would do for you what perhaps you would have paid somebody $1,000 or $500 to do for you at the same sort of rate. And they're all online, so it does not have to be that expensive for you to be able to achieve the same outcome. Very important.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so the next thing as well that you've got to also realize is the fact that when you're growing, you've delegated, money will start to come in. When money starts to come in, have a way to separate the finances, okay? But that comes with also maybe having a level of understanding of a bit of bookkeeping, learning. That's all come with entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship means that you find yourself really coming up with the goals and objectives, but it's also learning about marketing, learning about bookkeeping, learning about outsourcing, learning about pricing. It all comes as part of the learning or the entrepreneurship part of it. And so the part of it is separating the finances, separating your personal money from the income stream from that side hustle. And so the why is important is that when it begins to grow, you will know how to reward yourself, and what
Also
money
pay
you
your
can also
taxes.
delegate to taxes, and to delegate to other resources, and that you will need tools and equipment that you need to be able to help you to get to that goal that you want to get to. So that's very important. So once you separate the finances, and then obviously you have your money that you can sort of delegate to the stuff that you got to delegate to. And using this point to the first point that I made earlier on, the very earlier point, the fact that when the money started coming, your money will be used, for example, to pay for your expenditure. The side hustle or passive income will be used to help you to accelerate your financial goal.
Right.
Okay, this is why it's important to separate the finances. So that's what you got to do. Now, when this happens, the money starts to come in and separate the finances. The other thing as well that will help you to be able to avoid all the burnout and everything that comes with it, making sure that you're doing everything well, is the aspect of paying yourself or reinvesting. Should I pay myself or should I reinvest?
I mean, both ways it is rewarding, because it's almost like you are sending that money to go and even work harder for you to generate more passive income for you. So whichever way you look at it, it's still rewarding.
Absolutely. But from the initial stages, you may want to maybe reinvest into the business, but have a portion of it that you want to reinvest into the business, and a part of it that you want to reward yourself with, to recognize your efforts. Very important. So from the beginning stage, reinvest so that you have a solid foundation. And over time, as it grows, you keep on reinvesting until it grows until a point whereby you can give up your 9-to-5 job. So reinvesting, pay yourself, but you got to have the right balance on there. Very important. Now, as time goes on, I've sort of touched on it, but you got to learn how to take care of yourself. Self-care is important in all of this, because and I mentioned of the fact that we get to the 3 a.m., 2 a.m., and you sort of burn out. And then what else? What else are you going to be? Unproductivity will set in, demoralization will set in, demotivation will set in, and inconsistency will set in. When inconsistency sets in, then you lose momentum, and you don't want to get to that part. You don't want to get to that place, because it's harder to restart again, to build momentum. It's like going to the gym, and I'm going to the gym. Focus, consistency. I'm doing it. I'm working it out, and you are working out. The gym is also working it out, and you are all bonding all of that, and then suddenly. Something happens, and I'm feeling the muscles, so let me take a day off, or let me take 2 days off, let's take 3 days off, and it turns into 4 weeks,
Harder.
and you got to reset the whole regime again. It's the same thing when it comes to building your business or building side hustles or your passive income. Maintaining momentum is key to success. Every successful individual, one of the main success point is about consistency, maintaining momentum. And just to give you a story as well, in the basketball, right? In basketball, the reason why they have they have breaks in between, right? Especially when the losing team wants to find a way to bounce back again, they call for breaks to break the momentum, so that when they break the moment, they break the winning team's momentum, so that when they can actually retreat, regroup, and then come back again to win.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right, yeah.
so the only way where you find yourself not succeeding, I'm talking about on the winning side, not succeeding, is the fact that your momentum is broken. Once your momentum is broken, is you find yourself not achieving the goal that you want to achieve. So that, and the other thing I want to talk about is that have an exit strategy. It's so much important.
Exit strategy.
Absolutely.
Now, if this video has resonated with you, I would like to remind you to subscribe to B3 Inspire. Don't forget to hit the notification button so you do not miss out on any of our videos. Exit strategy, Edem. What do you mean by that?
So remember that we're talking about from 9 to 5 to a place whereby you're financially independent.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you are on fire. Pretty much. Not literally, but you know what fire means, right?
Yes.
Financially independent.
Financial independence.
Retire
early. Yes.
That's right. That's what I mean. So you're coming from that place. So now you've got to come to the point where I'm talking about exit strategy from your 9 to 5. At what point should I call a quit to my 9 to 5? At what point
That is such a good question, and I was going to ask you that question. I'm glad you brought it up. So, at what point should somebody actually think that it's time for them to quit their full-time job?
That's a good question. Ideally,
exit strategy. Go for it.
Ideally, at a place whereby 70% of at the point whereby your side hustle or your passive income has generated enough, let's say up to 70% of your 9 to 5 income. So when you hit your passive income hit 70% of your normal 9 to 5 income, at that point you should start thinking about exiting. Okay, after you put in all the hard work. So at that point you're like, okay, so some people may have a different, some people may have a bit high. They want to be absolutely certain, so they go for up to 90%. But
I can see 70%. Why it's 70%, because then it frees you up all that time within the 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
So you can double your production of within, if it's 3 hours you're using for the side hustle, now you've got more than 3 hours. If 3 hours is generating 70%, then of course you've got more than 3 hours, which you can generate 140%. So why not?
Yeah, you can do that. So you can absolutely do that as well. So please, so you know yourself, you know what your target should be or shouldn't be. The same way when it comes to investing as well, you've got to have a point whereby I've got to come out of the market, or I've got to sell, or I've got to go in, whatever. You know what your goal is. Stick to your goal and stay all the way to the end. And so having said all of that as well, the last thing I want to say is find a way to recognize your hard work. You put in all the hard work that you have.
On the holidays, that's what Edem is saying. It's the bit we all want, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Oh, why not?
So where you find yourself rewarding, recognizing your efforts. Having that's important. Rest is important. Is crucial. But then getting the point whereby you're recognizing your effort and rewarding yourself is so important, so that it doesn't feel as if like nothing is happening. It's maybe not happening because you have not taken the time out to recognize all your efforts. And everybody likes to be appreciated one way or the other. If nobody will appreciate you, learn to appreciate yourself.
That's true. Wow, this has been a rich discussion all about passive income and some real truth and insightful nuggets around being an entrepreneur. Thank you for sharing all of those. Just a quick reminder and recap of what we've talked about today about what is a side income or what is a passive income. It's the income that you generate aside your 9 to 5 job with a minimal effort in there that you could do this. It's all around three things, talking about having the capital, having the skill, and having the time. Maximize this and generate that multiple streams of income. As Adam said, it is your career insurance. Until next time, I want to remind you to build your foundation, believe in your potential, and become unstoppable. Don't forget to subscribe to B3 Inspire. Thank you for joining us today.